Fuck yeah. Welcome to Sunday Night Heathens, motherfuckers. The most degenerate podcast on the fucking history of the internet. Remember when we called this the degeneracy show? I remember that. That was literally the most degenerate episode ever, dude. I miss those days, the degeneracy. But we're back. We're back, yo. And today we got a special fucking guest. We got fucking some motherfucker that no one's ever heard of named anime answer, dude. I don't know, dude. Some weirdo trap loving furry that's I don't know, infiltrated this show. He has some weird community full of right-wing trolls and a bunch of nonsense, but hey, he fucking paid me money, so I let him on the show. Also, the esteemed guest, StrayDup, a fucking rapper, a beat maker, and a YouTuber, and I enjoy his work at all three. And he's also the dude that made my he edited my my fucking freestyle that I put up. You guys can go check out on SoundCloud, and he's also gonna be working on some other shit that I'm gonna be putting out real soon. So stay tuned for that shit and go check out his fucking channel. And I guess before we start, I'll let you straight up. I'll let you fucking shill your shit or talk about what you do.
Yeah, thanks. I just appreciate you first and foremost allowing me to show myself on your channel. It means a lot. And likewise, I'm a big fan of Jae Darké and all his and everybody should check out Jae Darké Soundcloud. A lot of great music and even more greater music to come. Everybody should go check out my YouTube, StrayDup, Stray Dog under STRYDUP. And that's
Yeah, dude. And there's a link to his YouTube channel in the description that you guys can go check out. Like I said, he makes some dope music, some dope beats, and some dope fucking atheism videos. I really liked that fucking Kanye response, because that's kind of like all three in one, because you did like a rap, I guess the beat was kind of like you playing around with Kanye's beat from that one song, but and
yeah.
the atheism thing, that was a really dope video. I really enjoyed that.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll work on. Kanye actually has Jesus is King 2 coming out this summer with Dr. Dre, so I'm gonna
What?
respond to that as well.
Dr. Dre?
Yeah.
Dr. Dre is getting involved in that shit. I didn't even know that, dude. The fuck is the rap game come to, yo? What the fuck? I came in at just the right point, yo. Oh my god. Or maybe just the worst point. I don't know, dude. It's whatever. Hey, maybe I can overtake Kanye someday, dude. I'll destroy Kanye in a rap battle. It could happen.
Then you can run for president.
Yeah, dude. Hey, someday that'll be the new fucking that'll be the new test for president. Hey, can you beat the old president in a rap battle? All right, well then you get nominated.
Yeah, you know how these days, like, everyone's like, well, you have to have experience, you have to be like a mayor, or at least like a senator, have some like position in government. Well, no, you have to be a SoundCloud rapper in the future to be the U.S. president. That's the basis in which we all fucking lay people's experience out.
Yeah, dude.
Dr. Dre was, I guess, getting sick of all the Beats money. He wanted some of this Jesus buck.
Yeah, dude. That's where the real money is. Let's be honest.
Yeah, dude. By the way, straight up, I'm just gonna tell you, you should go into your Discord voice settings and go into like your input sensitivity and maybe turn that down a bit, because it seems to be cutting you off a little bit in between sentences, and that seems to be what causes that. So yeah, you should probably dope. All right, so anyway, without further ado, I'll pass it over to fucking Chess, and we'll let Chess fucking take us on a journey through time, a journey of fucking plagues through time, dude. It's gonna be fucking. Oh, actually, let me change the screen check, real quick, so that they can see what's over there. Dope, dude. Dope.
Should I pull it up too?
Oh yeah. Let's pull.
Yeah.
So is feminism on this list?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude. All the play. Hey, late stage, third wave feminism. Okay, I'm all for classic feminism.
Right.
Well, let's see, because I will say, okay, so the first one, I'm just letting you guys know. Did y'all know we already went through an epidemic? In our lifetime, we've all been through an epidemic, and it was in 2009. Does anyone remember it?
H1N1.
Yeah.
I remember it like it was tomorrow.
Okay.
Like, I was like looking at this and I'm like, I don't remember this shit. Like, I don't remember having to skip school because of an epidemic. I don't even remember this on the news.
Yeah, no, it's easy to forget that type of shit. Like, coronavirus is obviously a lot different in a lot of ways, but I mean, like, there's been scares like this throughout multiple times. Like, we've heard of the swine flu and all that shit. Like, there's been these massive concerns that people have had for years and years and years, and it's just how viruses work. It's just how fucking the viruses evolve and shit. This is just something we've been dealing with for years as a species, you know.
So just to give a heads up warning, a lot of the math I've done was by hand and may not be the most accurate. The other thing I want to give a heads up about is over half of these are probably going to be flu related, and we're going to go delving into 7 of them, and the oldest one we're going to go through, which is the most popular one that we know of today, which is the Black Death. So that's
my favorite. Yeah. I stand for the Black Death above all. Yeah.
Oh, of course. So as we delve down, we need to remember back to 2009, which apparently President Obama was in his first year as president. MySpace was still a thing, and constant music playing, "Party in the USA" by Miley Cyrus was on the radio nonstop.
Okay. While Chess was researching this episode, she actually brought up that song the other day, and it was stuck in my head for the rest of the fucking day. I could not get that fucking Miley Cyrus shit out of my fucking head. Okay, and dude,
when that song came out, I was like, this girl has so much promise. She's gonna be such a talented little singer.
She's not. You know what I can actually say? Her little sister has way more talent than she ever fucking did. I actually like some of Noah Cyrus's shit, but dude, Miley is insipid. I don't want to hear it ever.
Look what happened to her, dude. Like, this was the last song that she put out. That was,
dude,
like,
maybe she got swine. Maybe she got swine flu and it like warped her brain, dude. It made her fucking.
Dude, she got swiney bull AIDS, dude. She got all 3. She got
swiney bull AIDS, yeah, dude.
Yeah, swiney bull AIDS. Dude.
Okay, moving on.
MySpace.
Oh, just in case there's the football fans, the year the Steelers won. The Super Bowl.
The Steelers.
I don't even know what else to put in there to make it relevant to anyone that can think of the time period.
All I can say is fuck the goddamn Steelers. And fuck their fans. They're all garbage.
Dude. Jay, I don't know if you were... well, you probably
canceled.
Didn't look at it the same way as I did, man, but, like... I don't know if you were around back when we all thought that Obama was going to change this country. Yeah, we all thought that. Everyone thought that. Everyone thought Obama was going to change this country.
Dude, no. You want to know where I was back then? And I'm actually kind of embarrassed of this. I was one of those motherfuckers that bought into the narrative that, what if Obama's the Antichrist?
Oh, God.
He could
Dude,
be the Antichrist.
I thought you were going to be like, actually, I supported Hillary back in 2008.
No. Well, actually, I actually did for half a second, too, because I was like, dude, fuck Barack Obama. They should have elected Hillary. We should have had the first woman. I did say that. That was also born out of extreme fucking ignorance. Same as my fucking, oh, well, what if Obama's the Antichrist? I think Obama might be the Antichrist. Oh, hey, he comes from, like, Kenya or some shit. He might...
God.
The only thing that could lead to supporting Hillary is ignorance, so...
Yeah. That yeah, dude. That was mostly due to indoctrination, though. I didn't know any better.
Oh, no. Yeah, no, I can't fault you when you're fucking, when you're fucking dealing with all that shit in your life. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, dude. Swine flu. Let's look at swine flu, dude.
Okay. So, this lovely epidemic, I didn't even know how much it infected, but it roughly infected over 700 million to 1.4 billion people on the planet. So at the time, it probably took out a close to 1/5 of the population got infected, at least.
Yeah, but they didn't die from it.
They didn't die. No. The death rate was actually pretty low. So one thing I've noticed, which I'll point this out, so the CDC doesn't never has exact numbers, and it's impossible to do exact numbers. So they always give you a range. So roughly they estimate 151,700 to 575,400 died. But in the US, less than 6,000 or a little over 6,000 died. With the survival rate was 9.98%. So you had the majority likelihood to survive. That's 0.02 if you were going to die.
So that's the mortality rate.
Yep.
So most people survived from it?
Yeah. You had a 0.2.
So it wasn't as bad as people thought. Because I remember people being terrified of swine flu. Like, oh my god, swine flu is going to kill us all. It's coming for us. We're all going to get swine flu. We're all going to die. It's going to destroy the world. And it didn't. And by the way,
Same with Ebola.
Yeah, same with Ebola. And maybe it's these last two plagues that didn't really go anywhere, that made people less likely to trust when the media was finally telling them, okay, now there is a fucking pandemic that we need to worry about. People were like, that's what they said about the swine flu. And really what it comes down to for me is I think that the media is really to blame for people not taking this seriously now.
I want to point this out. This is flu. This was the flu. As we keep going back, you'll see it, but how we handle flus have changed. If the coronavirus was another flu virus, this wouldn't have been a concern because we know how to make vaccines. We have medication that specifically handles the symptoms of the flu. We basically have the flu covered. That's why it doesn't kill as many as the worst one, which was the Spanish flu. There is a reason why it's not that bad. The issue with the coronavirus is our fucking president thinks it's a fucking flu, and it's not. It is not the flu virus. That's the major difference.
Wrong. Fake news. It's just like the flu. The liberal media is trying to lie to you. Okay, they want you to be scared. They don't want you to go to church and enjoy Easter with your friends and family. Well, you know what? I'm Donald Trump. I'm the president. You know what I want? I want everyone to know that I care about them. I care about your religious freedoms, and I want you to be able to go to church and infect each other, because I honestly think that everyone has the rights. Everyone has the right, and it's important. Even if you die, you know what? I believe in dying for what you believe in. Right? Don't you? That's what's most important. So go out today and enjoy your church services. God bless America.
God no. Honestly, the flu-like symptoms: fever, runny nose, sneezing, coughing, and difficult breathing. Very common flu symptoms.
Oh no, terrifying.
So I will point this out. Treatments are going to get more entertaining. So right now, as I said, we already have it on lock. The main two medications we use is Tamiflu and Relenza, whatever that is, to deal with the symptoms. Now, I have a little short video that's 2 minutes long. I believe I forget which news it is. It's 2 minutes long, and it kind of says how we kind of reacted to it. So let's play.
The fear of flu was enough to divert a DC-bound jumbo jet today. A passenger from Germany complained she felt ill, and the pilots landed right away in Boston.
Runny nose, sore throat. We transported her to the Mass General Hospital.
Early estimates indicate the H1N1 strain is slightly more contagious than the typical seasonal flu, infecting roughly 1 out of every 4 people who live with a flu patient. Genetic testing, however, shows it is a less lethal strain than feared.
We do not see the markers for virulence that were seen in the 1918 virus.
That flu pandemic swept the world, killing an estimated 50 million people. Upon news of this outbreak, prescriptions for antivirals jumped 800%. And the government is spending $250 million to buy 13 million more courses of Tamiflu and Relenza. President Obama explained the move in a special cabinet meeting.
Even if it turns out that the H1N1 is relatively mild on the front end. It could come back in a more virulent form during the actual flu season.
If that happens, some public health experts are expressing concern about whether hospitals could handle the onslaught.
We really have not made much progress in our hospitals in the United States being able to surge up, to increase capacity in a hurry.
So this allows us to watch this thing move.
The man spearheading flu preps at Health and Human Services says hospitals will never have enough beds to handle a pandemic.
It's just not cost effective to build those facilities and have them sit empty.
He is confident,
not
though, that there are
cost-effective,
enough
guys.
medical supplies and doctors, and they can be shifted
People's
around
lives
the
are just
country
costs
as
to people.
I love how
that.
Dude, I love how honest that dude was, because like
I know.
That's literally, is that an example of saying the quiet part loud? That really sounds like it's just not cost effective, guys, not cost effective. Like, because he said we will never have enough beds to handle a full-blown pandemic, and then he followed it up with it's just not cost effective. So you're not saying it's impossible. You're just saying that we're not going to do it because, you know, it's not cost effective. Hey, who would profit off of it, you know? Who would profit?
So we could have already been prepared for a pandemic like this a long time ago, but because it's not cost effective, we aren't. That's
Oh, it's gonna get worse. I'm just letting you guys know as we kind of do this is worse. Do you have any points straight up?
No, I'm just taking it
Okay.
all in.
All right, we'll finish.
I honestly,
No, go ahead.
At this point in my life, I was so indoctrinated, I guess, with Christian that I thought Obama was the Antichrist.
You did? Oh, you did too?
Like Revelation. Yeah, I thought the Revelation was about to happen.
Oh yeah, I did too. I was reading that
the
shit.
The rapture, all that shit. Yeah.
Dude,
So,
you ever read the Left Behind books?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I read all of them back then. I read them religiously.
Kirk Cameron on the Left Behind movies. I watched all that shit. Yeah. I thought that was like I thought I was watching it in front of my eyes.
Yeah, dude. I thought I was watching the very near future, dude.
Okay.
Well, I guess we were. That we just didn't know what was the cause.
So I want to point out how how minuscule this pandemic is here in a second, but I love how that's a constant thing. Every time there's an epidemic, it's the end of the world, and I will say the closest ever happening to the end of the world was probably the Black Plague for how much it killed versus the population. But we'll keep going.
You have to be close.
Needed. Because most countries are now advising against travel to Mexico, airlines are starting to slash service, some by as much as 50%.
I know what we need to do. We need to build a wall. This would be a great idea.
Yeah, dude. See, it came from Mexico, yo.
Yup.
We had to build the fucking wall, yo. We needed a wall. Trump would, if we had Trump like fucking I don't know 20 years ago, this never would have happened.
Oh God.
We would have had a wall, dude.
Yes, that stops the swine flu.
I mean, yeah, viruses can't pass through borders.
There's nothing left.
Okay, do you want to take a wild guess on the percentage of how it affected humanity, by the way? The crazy numbers.
0.2%.
0.002 to 0.008%.
I was too generous. I was too fucking generous.
Yeah, dude.
That's how little this affected humanity. So I only have one story of this, and it's probably the most nerdiest thing I will say tonight. Back when I played World of Warcraft a little bit more, and I already do, there was this guy who had you can have a cosmetic pets, and he had a pet pig, and because people are insane on WoW, they always there was this thing called the swine flu back in BC, and therefore WoW predicted the swine flu. Well, this guy had this pet, and he would have this command system where he would be like, pet's pig coughs, shakes hand with you, you have the swine flu. So it's the stupidest thing in the world. That is as close as I got to anyone reacting to the swine flu, which was a very bad emoji system from World of Warcraft.
Damn, dude.
Just some stale fucking 2008 memes, dude. That's fucking great.
Yeah, basically. Okay, now, as we go back in time, We are going to lose Tamiflu, which was the medication that we used, and Revolza, whatever that is. We are losing Relanza, the 2 medications that were used to treat the flu. We are losing home computers, so we cannot talk over the internet, and we lost mobile phones. So as we keep going back in time, be warned that we are going to be losing what we know as proper anything today. So we're going to the Asian flu, which these flus sound more racist as we keep going along.
Is that a furry?
Yeah, dude. Russia was into furries way before fucking, Americans and the Japanese were, dude. Russians were like ahead of the curve on that, dude.
Yeah. Dude, you learn something new every day, man.
So we have on the right-hand side, President Eisenhower. In the middle, the cartoon, because during this time it was roughly around the Cold War. On the top, on the right-hand side, that is skinny Elvis. Elvis was actually in his prime around this time when he actually looked healthier. And
was, the Elvis we all know and love, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's 2 iconic Elvis. There's the skinny Elvis, and then there's the fat Elvis.
I like thick Elvis. He has his appeal,
Yeah. And then on the left-hand side, the civil rights was going on right now. I believe they were still in the midst of the, what was it? The strike on the buses, and you can see Martin Luther King is still alive. So.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah. So just to give you a rough range of what's going on in humanity right now.
Martin Luther King is still palling around with Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
Trying to fight that good fight.
None of us were alive. So this one hit a little bit more higher. The Asian flu, which was roughly estimated to infected 500 million people, killed 1.1 million people. And the survival rate, as you see, guys, is going to slowly change. So instead of having a 0.02% chance of dying, you have a 2.2. So you're losing your chances of surviving right now, especially since we have lost 2 of the main medications we deal with to help with the symptoms of the flu.
Yeah, dude. I don't know if I like going back in time, dude.
This was called H2N2.
Yeah.
So it goes up as we go back. Like the swine flu was H1N1.
Actually, no.
And
so
then prior to it
has to do with the type of flu, because believe it or not, the next one's gonna be the Spanish, and the Spanish was also an H1N1. It has to do with the strain of flu. I have no clue beyond that.
Yeah, I'm so uneducated.
I was like actually asking Jay this, and I'm like, did Resident Evil copy the flu names? No. No, they didn't.
No, it's just that our real life diseases are a work of the Umbrella Corporation. You looked at it the wrong way.
Yeah, dude. The Umbrella Corporation is real, yo. They're real.
Yep.
Okay. So, same thing, similar things. Chills, fever, fatigue, cough, loss of appetite. So, the 2 main, which is going to be the last 2, by the way, I'm letting you guys know, the last 2 decent treatments that we're going to see tonight. That seems reasonable.
I can't even use one of them, dude, because I'm allergic to penicillin.
Yeah.
So what do I do?
I am also allergic to penicillin, yeah.
Damn, dude. Yeah, what do we do if we get this fucking flu? We're fucked, dude. We're fucked.
And vaccines. And
what if we don't get vaccinated? What if we don't get vaccinated and then we get infected? Then we're just dead, dude.
Now, be prepared to listen to the second video I have for you guys tonight. I'm just going to point this out, that this guy, as you listen to him, is going to make you feel depressed on how we're reacting right now. I'm just warning you now.
In 1957, we all missed it. The military missed it, and the World Health Organization missed it. But I saw an article, mind you, in the New York Times, which said that there were all these children were being taken to the dispensaries in Hong Kong, 20,000 people lined up, and I looked at that. They said babies had glassy-eyed stares. I said, my God, this is the pandemic. it's here.
What's going on with
So I
this
sent
camera
off.
work?
Sorry, what?
They just zoomed right up into space.
Yeah.
What's going on with this camera work? They just zoomed straight into his.
Yeah, the wide-angle lens is an odd choice, I have to say.
I don't know. They're trying to make it feel more sentimental. Oh, look at this poor guy thinking of the future. I don't know.
Since he brought that up, can I just bring up something real fast? Because it's going to bother me if I don't bring it up. Like,
Sure.
all right, so, like, I just feel like there should be some, like, Sarah McLachlan music playing, you know? Like, in the arms of the angel. I feel like that would really set the tone for this entire video. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh my god. If we weren't going to get copyright strike, I might consider doing it. But
They used to play that exact song all the time on DP, dude. They got away with it constantly.
Add like a somber blue tint to the all sad, all cinematic.
Oh, okay.
Japan got virus specimens and did quick analyses, and by George, I was able to announce to the world, and I had guts at that time. I said that there would be a pandemic which would start when school began in the fall, and it didn't let me down. The pandemic of '57 of Asian influenza began on time. But now, having had early detection, very early detection, and that alert from the New York Times, not from Science, then allowed us, I could go to the manufacturers and get them going on an immediate basis without having to go through the bureaucratic red tape. And I'd helped the manufacturers along. We had 40 million doses of vaccine by the time that the end of the year came, and it was used. That's the only time we've ever averted a pandemic with a vaccine.
Yeah. So in short, this guy saw it coming because of the New York Times. Therefore, they actually worked on trying to get shit taken care of immediately, instead of pulling a Trump where he's like, it's just the flu, it's fine.
Want to know why all these, like, massive corporations are actually fucking doing something about all this? Like, want to know why I feel like this current virus that we're dealing with is different in a way? Because, like, they're losing their profit margins. And now that we're finally seeing those start to get affected, that's when these big corporations start to give a shit. They don't care about 2.2% of the population. But when there's, like, literally millions and millions of fucking people, the people that are making them fucking bank, that's when they start to, start thinking about it a little bit more, which is really fucking ridiculous, because it shows how much they're holding back our potential, not just in terms of medical advancement, but as a fucking species. Think about where we could be if these corporations weren't holding us back. Think about all the fucking everyone could live such a better fucking life if we all just put a little bit in for each other instead of just always being in for it for ourselves.
Well, yeah, dude. Also, they're gonna lose their fucking worker drones if they don't fucking do something about this, dude.
Well, like,
because it endangers their way of life.
They had this ready, like, they saw it coming, they're like, okay, we need to get it done now. There's, like, evidence that they found evidence of the coronavirus back in 2017. Like, we could have been working on something immediately, but we just, if there's no profit margin, who gives a fuck? We'll wait until it gets
I
back.
mean, we'll never have enough beds for a pandemic. I mean, there's no profit in it, guys. There's no profit. How are we gonna make money from that, dude? It's way cheaper to just let everyone die, obviously.
I believe, like, it didn't barely affect the U.S. I don't think it killed more than 10,000 people in the U.S. Like, it ended up being barely anything, just because, as I said, like, we nicked it in the butt when it happened. That's what we did, which is smart. Okay, because I'm doing this for everyone except for one, that's how much that affected. So it went up. It went up by a margin, but that flu only affected 0.038% of the human population.
Wow.
Yeah. For 1.1 million? And that's another thing to kind of look at as the coronavirus is right now. Like, we have a higher population than these time periods, so we haven't hit the million mark. It's not done yet. So, as we go back in time, penicillin was invented in 1928. We can say goodbye to that. The first flu vaccination was discovered. We can say goodbye to that. The CDC is no longer a thing, so we can say bye to that too. And we don't have insulin anymore. So basically everything we know as now today that we use almost on a regular basis, say goodbye.
We don't need it.
I don't want to say goodbye to the CDC.
So,
well, Trump does.
Before you get to the Spanish flu, I just want to say something. I'm in the, and I was stationed in Fort Riley, Kansas for 5 years. And that's actually, I'm sorry if I steal your thunder, but that's where Spanish flu originated from, in Fort Riley, Kansas. And just being in the military, like right now, and in Fort Riley, I could just tell you firsthand that it's the way that it's set up. Everybody's in very close proximity. They live like right next door in like one congregate of space, and they're very slow to react. Like the military, the army. I hope I don't catch flack for this, but they're very reactive and not really proactive when it comes to anything.
Really?
What? No, you're right, man.
That's so surprising, yo.
And like right now, like while this pandemic's going, I'm still working every day. Like, and I don't care. I'm not whining about it. I don't think I'm doing anything essential enough to stay at work. It's just really silly. So yeah, I could definitely see how this started in a military base.
Oh yeah. Well, there was 3 beliefs. It was from there and like 2 other places. It's just the reason why I got named the Spanish flu is because that's like in Spain is when it really like picked up and was seen, but that was the only reason. Like, and I said, like all these flus, I kid you not, like all the flus are like Asian flu, Russian flu, swine flu, bird flu.
Someone tells me these fucking flus were all named by Americans.
Like, okay, so to give you the time frame, right now we are in World War I, which also was believed to have a huge effect on the Spanish flu. Our president at the time was President Woodrow Wilson. Yep.
Yeah.
Popular music is jazz, which I have a video if you guys want to listen to some really old timey music. And I thought this was interesting. So just for the gender part, apparently back then, boys wore pink and girls wore blue. Pink was actually the boys' color at that time.
Yeah, dude.
I remember hearing about that. That's so weird, man.
Fuck yeah. You know what? That's what we gotta go back to, yo. Actually, we gotta go back to a time where like colors and genders don't really mean anything, and it's just,
so you mean go forward?
Individualism. Because, like, yeah, dude. We need to fuck going back, actually. We need to go
to
go back to going forward, dude. We need to start.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, remember when we used to go forward? Remember that? Yeah, we should go back to that, dude.
Oh my god, yeah, dude, progressivism, dude. We gotta go back to when we went
America
forward.
great.
Holy
shit, again. Make America great again, yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
dude.
go back.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Gonna take you back to the past.
See if this works. Oh, of course it's gonna be lame. I thought this thing would let me click on it like the others. It didn't.
Yay.
Let me make sure it does that, and then okay. So let's listen to some old-timey jazz. Do you guys feel like you're in the time zone?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is great. I love this. What is this? This is a new jazz track. I love this. This is amazing. It makes me want to do a jig.
This was the #1 song of that year, just to let you know, in 1918. So this was the song that everyone was listening to.
Well, I can see why. It's a brilliant song. Makes me want to do
I need some bass.
Yeah. I think this, okay, if we do another one, I think I'm just going to do one on music. I think this would be interesting to see the evolution of how we just completely went in another direction.
Alright, Sonny Jim.
Alright.
Come and light yourself up a cigarette.
Okay, I think
Have yourself a smoke.
I think we get the point. I don't know what this reminds me of is what's that game called?
Fallout?
No, the other one.
Bioshock?
Bioshock. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Bioshock and Cuphead, dude.
Yeah, dude. By the way, speaking of cigarettes, dude, do they have cigarettes as the treatment for any of these?
Yeah, actually, you need to get to the next one.
I knew it.
Two areas did tobacco smoking. So the Spanish flu, which is probably one of the most hard-hitting flus, I think it made a second for at least white people. You may claim the one to the Indians was a little bit higher. So it infected over 500 million people. It killed 50 million people, and it roughly killed almost 675,000 people in the U.S. And your survival rate was 10. What was it? So the mortality rate, so you had a 90% survival ratio of it, but due to a lot of the issues of lack of like treatment and things like that, survival wasn't also the greatest either. So, here we're going to go to where things are, we don't know how to react to things. So, the fever, chills, fatigue. So, the issue we had was people's lungs were filling up with fluid, and their skin was turning blue. And it's because we don't know how to react to that.
Dude, it's fucking smurfitis, dude.
Yeah, dude. Turning into a smurf.
The thing, and also why the flu lasted an extra year, was that they gave people aspirin, and they do believe aspirin poisoning did have a huge effect on it. Now, I don't know how many people are familiar with aspirin, but aspirin is a blood thinner and also can be used as a painkiller. But because of how easily it thins your blood, they don't like to give it to people that much unless they have heart problems. They thought to help with treatment, the color red was helpful. So bell peppers, cherries, strawberries, anything the color red would help you out. Slicing onions was believed to be good for you. Inhaling fumes. Now, when I had to look this up, it was like factory fumes. And they did believe tobacco smoking did help.
Inhale those fumes. It's good for you. It'll build strong bones and character.
And open air, which just is like a fun weird thing. Apparently, like the state I lived in, one of its biggest population growths was having to do with the flu because we have open air. And open air was good.
Open air.
So they advised people to move to here because there was open air.
Fill that open air with factory smoke.
Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Didn't they do that for tuberculosis too?
Yeah, they did.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, that one was a big one.
Tuberculosis.
So, the biggest thing about the Spanish flu, I will point out, is the fact that it's very similar to how they were treating it back then to how we're treating ours right now. They were, like, California was mandating people wearing masks. There was a ban on social gatherings. There were ads to say, wash your hands. And they did do funded studies towards it.
Well, you could still go down to the speakeasy, right? Get yourself a drink. Have some giggle juice.
And because today is Easter, I wanted to point this out because I thought it was kind of a little similar to people who tried to go to church today.
Holy fuck, is that Easter Island?
No.
No, do a bunny hop.
This is Philadelphia, and they were holding a parade for the war. And Wilmer Krushin, who basically led to the death of over 2,000 people, he was the health commissioner of Philadelphia. He was told over and over again, do not hold this parade. We don't, like, I get that you're trying to send money for the war effort, but do not hold this parade. Well, he did it. There was estimated over 200,000. Within 72 hours of this parade, every hospital was filled to the brim with people.
Tell us not to hold a parade. We'll hold a parade if we wanna. We'll do whatever we wanna. You can't tell us what to do. We're in America. This is the land of the free and the home of the brave.
So, what I predicted, just because it's happened here, won't be surprised if something similar is going to happen today for the states that allowed people to go to church today.
I think they'll be protected by God. Nothing to worry about. God damn it, dude.
Oh, God. So, I do believe because the next tab is going to be how many now, do you guys want to take a walk us how much the death toll was on humanity?
Go ahead.
This one actually hit a percentage, 3.125%.
Holy shit, dude.
Oh wow, that's a lot more.
You know what I'm noticing? Because, like, you know, when we're on top of our game and, you know, we're not fucking around, you know, we take care of these pandemics fairly quickly. But, you know, when we're acting like a bunch of idiots, it seems to kill a hell of a lot more fucking people. You know? Maybe some fucking correlation there. I don't fucking know, dude. Fucking morons.
So we're gonna take as we move farther back, we're gonna take away radios.
Radio? No more radio? Ah, shucks. What am I gonna do after dinner when I sit down and have a smoke and drink my whiskey?
Stainless steel is gone. We invented that in 1916. The first cell phone was apparently in 1908. That's gone. Sonar is gone. And powered airplanes is gone. So transportation is starting to be a little less more of a widespread.
Fuck the Wright brothers.
I wonder if that'll make the percentage go up or down. Like, I figure it'll probably make it go down if people are less able to, like, easily get across the country and shit and, like, go to other continents. I assume that makes it harder for these diseases to spread. I wonder how much that is, like, skewed against how bad the health practices were around this time.
Well, also, in contrast, the radio was a means of communication to, like,
that's true.
give information to people, like, you know, how to prevent this disease. So like, now word of mouth is spread orally, and if you've ever, like, played the telephone game, you know how, like, meetings and shit can get twisted. So I don't know.
Like, this is, I mean, right now so we still have newspapers, but I know once you get to medieval times, there wasn't even really newspapers. You basically had this guy that would go into central town and he would hold up this piece of paper and just read from it all day, every day.
Like, reads the declaration to the town, yeah. The king doth declare that selling your goose into slavery is now punishable by 17 floggings in the town square.
Yeah, so that's how that works. We still have newspapers. So,
the Wall Street Journal? Dude, were they any more reputable back then?
I believe that's actually the first Wall Street Journal. I think that was why I put that there, is when they first started. Now, do you want to take a wild guess who's on the very right side? And
Baby Hitler.
You knew.
No, I just could tell, dude. He looks like Hitler. He looks like fucking Hitler.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would turn into Hitler if they had that haircut as a baby.
Look at, dude, he always had the hairstyle, and he looks, dude, his upper lip just looks wrong, dude, without that. Now you can see why he grew that mustache, dude.
Have you seen photoshopped images of Hitler without the mustache? I think they've shown it on DFF before. It looks fucking weird.
Yeah,
it's uncanny.
Damn.
Let me see if I can find it in one second.
I can pull it up if you want. Let's hear.
Look how ironic that is, real quick. At that last slide, it said, "Do bats?" at the top on the newspaper, and now we're suffering from the coronavirus.
Do bats kill? Yeah, dude.
I didn't even notice that.
Oh my
god, dude.
All right, I dropped the image I was thinking of in the Discord if you want to check.
Oh my god,
oh
dude.
my god, this is horrific.
Yeah,
looking.
he doesn't even look like Hitler. He doesn't even look like fucking Hitler without that mustache.
He doesn't, dude.
Weird.
He looks
normal. What the fuck?
Doesn't he look like he could be like your high school principal or something?
Yeah, dude, he does. He looks like every high school principal ever. Dude, every high school principal ever just needs to grow a fucking Hitler mustache.
You know what else he looks a little bit like?
Yeah.
Bloomberg.
Oh my god,
he does, dude. He looks like Bloomberg. Dude, I love how the suit is purple. He looks like he's wearing a Joker suit or some shit.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my god.
This is colorized, so I believe.
Why
that's exactly...
so Jewish?
Oh god.
Demonetized.
Right. Oh, dude, we were already there. I don't even think that's gonna be a real thing. So just to let you know, the very bottom thing with all these people around, like holding stethoscopes to their ears, that's the first jukebox machine.
Damn.
Yeah, dude. They're listening to the very first like music that you could actually like listen to on a fucking dude. That's fucking history right there, yo. Now we got these fucking iPods. We can carry fucking not iPods, fucking smartphones. We can carry in our pocket. They can have a fucking library of music, like all the fucking music you want. Damn, dude.
Yeah. No.
Times have changed, yo.
Who was the president? Let's see here. President Harrison. Okay, so it was President Harrison. And it showed what the cars looked like back then. And at this point, they probably weren't even really using cars. They were probably using mostly horses. That's probably some rich person. So the Russian flu was unclear because we're going to officially get to the point where we don't keep the greatest records. So we have no clue how many people it infected. And this is kind of going to go to the very end of this because we don't have much records. It did roughly kill about 1 million people. And the mortality rate, again, you had a 96% chance of surviving. So, fever, headaches, runny nose, same flu. So, we're probably going to get away from the flu. Yeah, heroin.
Damn, dude.
Oh, just wait. Snake oil and heroin. I'll actually go for the next tab.
Snake oil, heroin, and cocaine, dude.
So we can, for cocaine for a toothache drop, instant cure, only 15 cents.
Damn, dude. For sale by all druggists, dude. Damn, dude. See, I was about to say, looking at that music, that jukebox thing, I was about to say, dude, I'm glad I don't live in that time. I'm glad I live in today's time. But, dude, I don't know, dude. 15 cents for some cocaine, and look, dude, they sell it to kids. They sell it to fucking kids, dude. They sell cocaine to fucking what the fuck backwards ass fucking society were we fucking did we fucking have, dude? Cocaine toothache drops for kids, dude. Oh, you have a toothache? Here, have some cocaine.
Dude, they had heroin, they had cocaine.
Now, it was probably a lot weaker than the stuff that exists now, but still, dude. Dude, if you had a time machine, you could go back, just buy a bunch of cocaine for 15 cents a piece, bring back like $100, and just buy a bunch of cocaine, bring it back to the fucking future and sell that shit, dude. You'd be rich. God damn, dude.
No, what is it? Like, cocaine and heroin were like big time deals. I know heroin was supposed to be a big savior for like the U.S. military.
Yeah, dude.
And we saw how that went.
Yeah, meth was too. It's what Nazis used to like stay alert while like, and they use like a sister brand of meth. I can't recall what the name of it was, but yeah.
They used heroin, meth, aspirin. Aspirin was really popular. So again, this one did barely any dents. Once again, this was still only 0.06% of the human population. The Russian flu wasn't that big. I couldn't find a lot of information. But as we keep going back in time, because we're going to be jumping, I think, close to 200 years now, the first cocaine that was isolated as what we know today is gone. Heroin being boiled for their first time is gone. People still use opiates throughout time, though. The first sewing machine is gone. The first steamboat is gone. The first vaccine, which is probably one of the biggest ones you can think of, is gone. The man that invented it is no longer a thing, and gasoline automobiles are gone. So travel's gone, basic medicine is basically gone, and right now they're going all off of superstition.
Benz created the first automobile, the brand Benz. I never knew that.
This is the first gasoline automobile, because there's like the first one, which was like surprisingly like in the 1700s, but it wasn't ran off of gasoline.
Oh shit.
So this one is only going to be talking about the plague of London that lasted about a year. Now the Great Plague was actually similar to the Black Plague. It's the same bacteria at the time, because the New World is still a thing. The New World's still kind of doing its thing. It has not branched off. I don't believe it did. Let me make sure that. Yeah, it didn't branch off from England yet. And people were still getting settled in. But what was going on in England, a lot of people were dying. In London alone, the streets were filled to the brim with dead people. And it got to the point where people wouldn't go outside, and you had servants, and they would kick out their servants. And on average, about 1 in 3 of every household had the plague.
Bring out your dead.
This is around the colonial era, right? Or is this before that?
No, this is around the colonial era. It's like in the middle of it.
Okay. I was gonna say, because yeah, I can see this being, yeah, it seems very bad, but yeah, I can see this being very fucking bad just because of all the fucking like transportation that was done around the time. Like I don't know if you know, but like pirates, they were very common around this time. Like the ship conditions were very poor for not just pirates but everybody involved. So yeah, there was a lot of shit like this that would have led to a lot of disease and plagues and shit being spread across the seas and across continents. And
oh yeah, and then the number one killers were the rats, and guess what? Like the rats always would store away on ships all the time.
Yeah, I mean, just look at cruise ships today, and like it's so much more advanced. But back then, like I'm sure everybody got sick on a ship if one person had it.
Yeah, you also have these like European settlers like bringing new diseases to like countries that didn't even have these types of issues before, which leads to more fucking diseases evolving and being a issue for. So yeah, this was a huge fucking problem for diseases during this time period.
Oh yeah. So this kills around 100,000 people because it was the bubonic plague. Now, if we actually treated it, I believe today, it'd be a 1 to 15% chance of surviving, but untreated, it was 50-50. So if you had it, hopefully you're on the good side of it. So it had fevers, chills, headaches, painful swelling of the neck, armpits, and groin. So basically where you're, I forget, there's a certain gland that's in those areas. You would blister and bruise, and you would cough up blood. So back in the day, which, by the way, this is still used today, leeching, where people would put leeches on you. It's
no, thank you.
It's still a modern day, but it's not used for the same thing. It's used for burns, apparently. Like I don't know why they taught me this when I took phlebotomy, but they leeches are still good today, but they're only used for burns, and I don't know where, because no hospital has leeches. I'm just letting you know. Okay.
I mean, if we're out of the regular methods, then we just go out back and get some leeches. They keep them in the fucking swamps, dude.
They would use types of powders. A big thing that was used was if you were rich, you got minerals. If you were poor, you got herbs. And minerals could be
at least one of those you can smoke though.
Yeah, dude. Give me the herbs, yo.
I
want
to
be poor, dude.
So some of the
what do they do with spider webs?
Those are powders. So what they would do is they would make powders, and they would give you these powders to take. So anything from live worms, fox lungs, spider webs. There was, I believe, nicotine in there. There was a bunch of weird, gross shit that you would probably never want to eat.
Sounds like a witch's brew.
Kind of is. At this point, this is what they kind of thought was logical, because at this time we didn't really have test and error. If someone took this lovely powder and survived, because it was 50-50, and it worked, people are going to assume this is going to work for everyone. And of course, they made lotions out of egg yolks, oils, roses, and fancy
Dude, if it was 50-50, it probably honestly didn't do anything.
Oh, it didn't.
The disease probably just had a 50-50 chance of killing people, and whether you did this or not, it's still, you'd still have a 50-50 chance of dying. It's the same rate as prayer or God, And
I already said the reaction. So people were throwing out their servants. People were basically terrified, and that was basically how it was handled. Now, the spread of it all had to do with fleas and rats, of course, because it's the bubonic plague, basically. Now, I only did the percentage, not on the world, only of London at the time. Do you want to take a wild guess how hard it hit London?
Well, I mean, England tends to do bad with these viruses, so I mean, it probably took out at least over 10%, I'd say, of the fucking population there. In that one.
21.73. It took out.
Wow.
A little over 1/5 of their population.
Double what I thought. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
In a bad way.
So this is the last on the invention side. we are losing syringes. We are losing what we know as common newspapers. So any type of getting word around is gone. You are all using basically some dude to go yell at people. Flushing toilets. So people are throwing their feces in like the streets to hopefully go towards the sewers. The thermometer, which I didn't know this, by the way. The thermometer was actually invented by Galileo. I had no clue.
Oh, I never knew that before. Yeah, I've never heard it attributed to him, at least.
Yeah. I didn't know that one either. In 1607, England has not reached America. So, England is still just England right now. And only the Spaniards have hit the New World.
America.
So, I'm going to start this Coca-Litzy epidemic, which lasted 3 years. This one was probably one of the more hard-hittings that hit the Aztecs. And there's still speculation on even what it was. It did a freaking killer. It killed roughly about 1 to almost 20 million people, roughly estimated. And keep in mind, this time period, the world population is probably under 1 billion right now. So, it killed a shit ton of people. And the mortality rate was 50-50 again. So, the symptoms of this plague, which again are kind of up in the air, were fever, headaches. So, I don't know how many people know this. If you get your fever above a certain amount, and because they didn't have anything to lower those fevers, your eyes would start to bleed. You would start to just bleed in your face. They got jaundice. Now, does anyone know what jaundice is?
No.
No, I've never heard of that before.
That's what like babies get, where they have like, what is it? Isn't there's like too much? Your skin is all like yellow.
Kind of, yeah.
Because like your blood isn't filtered properly or something.
Oh, Simpsons disease.
Yeah.
Simpsons disease.
Basically, you do look like the Simpsons. Back when I worked in the hospital, the best way I can describe someone that had jaundice is look at a human being, take a yellow highlighter, and just color them in, and that's what they looked like.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they would look that color. There was no other way to describe it. You can tell when someone's really badly jaundiced. Even in their blood, believe it or not, in their blood and urine, you can see that yellow tinge just on the glass itself. It's insane. So jaundice is basically has to do with liver failure. That's a good sign of it. They also would report to have black tongue. So because these were the Indians, what they used is they used local herbs. That does include smoking tobacco.
Well, what about Jamaican herbs?
I know, I didn't see anything on weed. I'll just let you know.
Damn.
So they would use rituals. A lot of them believed it was bad spirits. If someone got sick, it was because an enemy wished an evil spirit on you. So that's to counteract the evil spirits. They would do rituals, chanting. A medicine doctor would come to you and basically try to drive the spirit out. Great fun. The spread of it was kind of undetermined because they don't know 100% what it was. They believe because there was a lot of blood producing from someone, because they would die with only in a few days, it could have been through blood. It also could have been food contamination. And the biggest thing that they believed it, because they've, after doing some research in the skeletons found in Mexico, they believed it was salmonella poisoning.
Damn, dude.
So the thing that, what's it called? Chick-fil-A. No, it wasn't Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
Which one was it? It was...
you know what made me giggle, dude.
It wasn't Chick-fil-A. It was the other one. They, like, bragged about it. Chipotle. Chipotle got in trouble because they weren't cooking their chicken thoroughly.
Oh,
yeah. Yo, dude, I'm gonna write a rap song about Chipotle, dude. I'm gonna write a Chipotle. It's gonna be even doper.
It's crazy. It's crazy to look back at these like illnesses and the treatments that they used. How like fallacious and just like silly it is. Like what they thought, and then think about people people in the future looking back at how we responded to the coronavirus, they'll probably laugh at us too.
Yeah.
You know what else?
Oh, thank God.
You know what else makes me laugh is that the fact that like there's some people that will look back and like, oh, look how wise people were back then. You know, oh, we should take everything that they taught back then with, as if it's like, you know, some perfect fucking, you know, wisdom. When it's like, dude, they were fucking retarded. What do you like? You're gonna believe these people's claims about fucking supernatural fucking bullshit when they can't even prove that their medicine works? Get the fuck out of here, dude.
See,
exactly.
This is the weird thing with this. Like, like every time I would notice this, I was like, okay, from one plague to the next, because basically my criteria was I had to have at least killed 100,000 people. That was my minimum, because believe it or not, Ebola didn't make this because it didn't kill that amount of people. It actually killed a lot less. Along with Zika and all these other things that came up, no one really died from them. But like every time there has been a major like epidemic, it's like literally they figured out how to deal with it afterwards, like perfectly. And then the one prior, they still knew how to deal with it, but you can see that it got worse and worse the farther we go back in time because they didn't know how to handle it. And we didn't know how to test what worked and what didn't work because we had a lack of communication.
That makes sense.
Okay. So this one, because, again, human population was unclear, it ranged between a 0.22% of the world population to 4.44% of the world population for how many it killed.
Damn, dude.
So this one did hit the world pretty hard. It's not saying it didn't, like, destroy them, but this one, for its time period, did hit humanity pretty hard.
Well, why does it say between, like, is it unclear what it actually is?
Yeah, you gotta remember, this is the 1500s. Do you think they counted how many Native Americans they killed?
Nah, dude. They just... they only counted how many Native Americans they raped. You know? I mean, that was just pragmatic. But, yeah, killing? Nah, we just put them in a pile and burned them.
Yeah, like...
We had to remember which ones were pregnant, though, obviously. So, we counted those ones.
I also want to point out... Like, the CDC, if you go to, like, their page, they only could give ranges. They, like, because, like, even with the London plague, they had an exact number, but the reality was it could range just because you may have contributed something else to what it really was. They didn't really keep great records. If someone died, they might have just buried their family in their backyard. Like, it was 1600s. People didn't really have regulation like we do now. So the most favorite, the Black Death, the bubonic plague, which ravaged, Europe.
Yeah, all of Europe, basically. But we got these sweet masks out of it, so it wasn't all bad. Why aren't people wearing these days? Like, people should go around the supermarkets wearing these plague masks. That would be fucking dope. But come on, make the best out of a bad situation. Come on, bring back the fucking mask.
Dude.
Bring back the mask. Bring back the mask.
I want one. I want a plague mask. Let's go look on Amazon. See if we can find a fucking plague mask, dude.
I'm surprised that would be like a #1 seller. So, bubonic plague, the big ravager, which, by the way, I didn't know this. Apparently it's a bacteria. It's not a virus, it's a bacteria. And it's a bacteria that doesn't have spores, which is kind of rare. Huh.
They exist, yeah.
It ranged anywhere between 75 million to 200 million, and the survival rate at this time was anywhere between the death rate was anywhere between 50 to 70. So you had a really high possibility of dying if you got it. Now, as everyone knows what the Black Death was, you had fever, you had headache, you had diarrhea, there was moments of having boils, your skin would turn black, it would turn gangrene, and apparently it did affect the clotting of your blood too. So if you had like a black boil that popped, it may just keep bleeding, it may not stop. And the fleas, the rodents, people in themselves, which also I'll get into why this was a big deal, but people themselves made this spread a lot worse if they knew what quarantine was.
Oh shit, you mean just like now?
Interesting.
So.
Oh my god, dude.
I'm gonna give you some lovely things to do to treat your Black Plague, okay? One includes washing yourself with urine.
Done.
Rub your wound with live chickens.
Oh, I do that every Sunday.
Okay.
For religious purposes, they deemed that this was an act of God. So the thing to do was to flog yourself or go kill Jews.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, no.
I can't even make a joke about that one, dude.
Yeah, we'd get taken off the website, man.
But flogging yourself, hey, everyone knows I've done that before.
So if you were rich enough, eating crushed emeralds.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
I feel like that would actually, like, destroy your intestines.
Yeah, that would be terrible. Who would do that? What?
Like, I was advised to live in the sewers, because disease.
Well, that one just makes sense. Yeah, you're already diseased. You go live with the other diseases, and eventually you acclimate, and you become a fucking cool mutant with a fucking ear on top of your head and a third arm sticking out of your asshole.
Dude, I can't even imagine, like, medieval sewer smell.
I can't imagine medieval dude. I bet there were medieval mutants living in the sewers that they just thought the filth was so good, and they're like, yeah, dude, we're gonna live here and mutate it, dude. Maybe that's where vampires came from.
Another thing they advised was rubbing yourself with your feces.
Oh, dude. I mean, that's just kinky. I mean, are we supposed to be afraid of these treatment methods, dude? I'm not.
Okay, Jay.
The last one, which would probably cause why it was so fucking horrific, was they basically told people to go where no one was infected.
Oh my god. Yeah, dude. Hey, you want to cure your fucking Black Plague? All you have to do... Okay, that's very simple. Just go in a room with a bunch of people that don't have the disease and spend as much time there as possible. Okay, make sure you get, you want to get all that healthy energy from all the healthy people, dude. This is, I bet you that's what they thought. That's how backwards these people thought were. They thought, yeah, dude, if you go near the healthy people, you might catch their healthiness, dude.
Yeah.
Oh
preferably children too.
Yeah, dude. Go find some newborn babies that were born yesterday, dude. They're the healthiest of all. Just rub them all over your face, dude.
Believe it or not, and this is like common through just treatment throughout history, except for maybe 100 years ago, not just urine, but little boys' urine was like the best for you.
Yeah, dude, I remember that. I think they were talking about that on the DFF about something. They use little boys' urine as a treatment for something.
Yeah, specifically little boys. It can't be a woman, adult male. It has to be little boys.
Well, you know, you don't want those pussy juices messing up the perfectly good urine.
So,
okay, Jay.
I'm sorry.
Because this was the most deadliest plague throughout human history, it went anywhere between 16.9 to 45.1% of the world population. Now that's all rough estimates because they don't know how many people were in America.
I bet it's gonna be worse this time.
Oh, we're never gonna get close to this. Like the majority, believe it or not, though, like survival rate, because it's a 79% survival rate right now, which is pretty low if we look at all these other plagues. Like, except for the ones that are like people are acting like they just don't know what they're doing. It's all within that 50% range, but for right now, we're not doing too good either. So, just to go back to the treatments, maybe we can do this on a different stream, but the way they used in medieval times was off of a Greek and Roman system. You had 4 vials. You had, I believe, white, yellow, blood, and black. And depending on those 4 vials is what is wrong with you. And that's how doctors would treat you.
Yeah, dude. I don't remember DFF talking about this, too.
Yeah, it's the 4 vials. That was very... It came from, like, Greek times.
Yeah, dude.
Of course, now we don't use that system at all.
Well, because it's retarded. It's literally something that someone just made up.
Okay, I have 5 questions for...
That applies to everything, Jay. Okay.
Yes.
Well, no, but it's something that someone literally just made up without using any kind of scientific method. It's just like, ooh...
yeah, I know.
I think that we have different colored biles inside us, and they determine what makes us sick and how to get better. Yeah, bullshit, dude.
So I have 5 questions for you guys. Since we've gone through all the plagues, by far, which one was your guys' favorite, and why? We'll start with
the one that
We'll start with StrayDup.
I'd say the Spanish flu, so I could do a bunch of heroin and legally do cocaine.
Yeah,
it'd be great.
See, he stole my answer, dude. That's what I was gonna say. Spanish flu, yeah.
Animancer?
The one that killed the most people.
So you want to
that was my backup answer. So.
Yeah.
I mean, the Black Plague was by far. It was just like this. It was such a turning point, because the one thing people forgot about it is it was mainly Europe that was fucked. The Middle East and Asia was doing fine.
Yeah, dude.
And that one was also weather induced too. So I guess J Dubs, you already gave your answer. If you were trapped or not, what is
you
it?
just called him J Dubs, dude.
So terrible.
That is, dude. You have to apologize. That's offensive. That's fucking offensive, yo.
I'm so sorry. I don't even know why. I don't even know J Dubs.
J Dubs, dude. J Dubs.
Practically I-Dub. And
Straight
he's
up.
like a cuck right now. Fuck that.
Yeah, dude.
Straight up, you already gave your answer because you're like, I want to be trapped with all the heroin and cocaine. And I did exclude the first 2 because I feel like they were not very extreme plagues. Because
well,
they
yeah,
handled them
dude.
pretty well.
I want to go. See, my favorite was the swine flu. If we're being serious, dude, because hey, that was the one that killed the least people and would seem to be pretty much on top of it. Let's go back to those days, dude.
It almost seems like every other plague except for the black, everyone had enough sensibility to know to stay in place. Except today, everybody's. It's like, how did we know more back then when?
Cause I have a theory, you know. I think something. I can't put my finger on quite what, but something seems to have lowered the national international intelligence by proxy, dude. Just something just
Feminism.
lowered our fucking intelligence, dude. I don't think it's feminism.
I'm just fucking around.
I think it's a lot of things, honestly. I think it's an amalgamation of a lot of fucking things. But the president probably has something to do with it.
Yeah.
He set a poor precedent.
Yeah, dude.
Out of the Black Plague treatments, which one do you think you guys would try?
The treatment? Oh, of course, like heroin, dude. I mean, no, not heroin. Cocaine.
There was no cocaine or
wait,
Black
what
Plague.
What were they? I don't remember.
They were covering yourself in urine, eating emeralds, killing Jews, flogging yourself.
Well, like I said, I already do most of those things on the regular, but yeah, I probably enjoy flogging myself the most. So yeah, dude, I'll probably go flog myself. Yeah, that seems fun. And I know there's people out there that love the thought of me flogging myself, dude. So hey, might as well do my public service to the people.
Animancer, which one would you want to do? I guess to try to cure yourself of the plague.
Oh, I'll take the plague.
Fuck the treatment.
You don't want to bathe in urine?
No.
I'd rather bathe in. I mean, hey, you could live in a sewer?
I'll take the plague.
What about
I could take the plague.
eating crushed emerald? What? Well, hey, what about the safest option? You can go and infect a bunch of other people. That might help. Misery loves yeah, dude, that's exactly. Dude, I bet that's the type of person who came up with it. It was like, I don't want to be no, I'm just going to where all these healthy people are because I'm trying to cure myself. It's totally gonna cure me, guys. I'm totally not spreading it to everyone else.
Yep, dude,
Fuck
it's true. Misery does love coming in your pants.
Fuck these typhoid Marys, dude. Fuck these. Can I just say, fuck these Christians in their fucking churches today, gathering together, spreading their fucking viruses like a bunch of like the parasitic fucking insects they fucking are, dude. Like, oh, let's just spread this shit. Let's indoctrinate your children. Let's take away your fucking freedoms, and then we'll spread a fucking deadly disease to boot. Here you go, America.
And
What a great what a great
thought
service these
God-
people do.
I thought God was omnipresent too. He's everywhere. So why do you need to go to the church? Why can't you stay your infected ass and praise him from your fucking living room?
Yeah, dude, pray in your closet like Jesus fucking tells you to in the fucking Sermon on the Mount that you motherfuckers love so much, that's full of so much reprehensible bullshit. There's something to fucking follow. Pray in your fucking closet, motherfuckers.
So I wanted to point this out because, like, right before we had the stream, I was looking at Twitter, and it's like, it's weird to see religion try to evolve with the times. So there's like one where you see drive-through confessionals, and it's like so awkward to see this preacher sitting down in front of a bunch of tents with a mask on, being like, "Tell me your confessions" while you're in your car.
Yeah, still the same old traditional clothes, I bet, too, which is the most awkward part, is that some things they have to have completely traditional, but in other ways they're still, like, latching on to these old fucking dying traditions while we are moving to the fucking modern age. And the closer that we get to, like, reaching, you know, higher and higher levels of technology, the more absurd this shit's gonna fucking seem. And I'll tell you what, it seems real fucking absurd these days right now when there's fucking pastors hosting their fucking sermons through fucking Zoom calls and on Skype and shit. That's the most laughable fucking thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Like, at least good on them for not doing it in public. I'll give them that. At least they're fucking doing it online and they have some fucking sense. But stop fucking doing those sermons in general. Just fucking step into the fucking 21st century already. Jeez.
Well,
Any pastor that holds a congregation and then their congregates die, I hope they're charged with murder.
Yep.
Dude,
I agree, dude.
I want the one pastor guy that's like, "Oh, I cured everyone." The guy with the famous.
Oh my
guy with
god,
the
I
kids.
hate Kenneth. Dude, I hate that guy.
Could he get charged with terrorism? I mean, other people are.
He needs to be. Kenneth Copeland is a fucking terrorist, dude. He is a fucking terrorist. He is disgusting, dude. He's sitting there making his congregation think, "Oh, I'm washed in the blood of the Lamb. I'm cured of any coronavirus, and there's no way I'm gonna get it or spread it. Ain't no way, no how. I'm protected by the blood of Jesus."
You know what the fucked up thing is, too? Our tax dollars go into supporting these organizations which give fucking nothing back to the American people because they're all
yeah, we don't even
fucking
tax these fucking churches.
But they're supposedly a charitable.
Oh, so charitable. Give us your money and come sit in the pulpit, come sit in the pews and die. Because, hey, we just need them. You know that's why, by the way. They want their congregation coming so they can tithe and all that shit, dude. They don't want people not coming and giving them money. They could hold online services, but then they'd have to set up, like, PayPal or whatever so that people could pay online. They don't want to do all that shit, and most of that fucking congregation doesn't know how to do that shit. Well, so I would not be one bit surprised if most of these pastors, that they're just motivated by fucking greed. They're like, "No, dude, how do I get fucking paid if no one comes to church?"
So I just want to point out a lot of those people were anti. Sorry, I was going to just point out a lot of these pastors were anti-Facebook until right now. Just letting you know, a lot of them were like, "Fuck Facebook, it's the devil's work." And then it's like next couple weeks, it's like, "So we're going to be holding our sermon. Remember to follow and like."
Dude, yeah. Watch, eventually these fucking pastors are gonna, like, resort to fucking e-girl tactics. Like, they're gonna start their own OnlyFans and shit
dude.
like that, man. Watch this. Fucking donate to the church through Patreon. Dude, imagine that.
Kenneth Copeland on OnlyFans, dude.
The wind of God. COVID-19. You see that shit?
Yeah, dude. Oh my god, it was terrible.
Um,
I hate that dude. My dad loves that dude. My dad actually sends me fucking shit, even though I don't talk to him. He fucking sends me Kenneth Copeland shit. And it's like, "Here, you should listen to this," and I just fucking ignore it constantly. Like, I'm in awe of how fucking people take this man seriously when he's such an obvious fucking charlatan.
So
you see the one where his, like, he didn't want to be on commercial air flights because he thought it was full of demons.
Yeah, everyone's demons. They're demons.
In a metal tube.
So just because I want to get through the last two questions, after kind of seeing this, how do you feel about our current virus and our current predicament compared throughout history?
I still think we're fucked.
We'll get over it. It's gonna be shitty probably for longer than a lot of people even think, but we'll get over it. I mean, we'll look back on it and just meme on it a few years from now.
Yeah, dude. Hey, remember coronavirus? Remember all those people that died? Lol.
I don't.
I don't know. I just kind of wanted to.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
sorry.
it really alters like your point of view and your standpoint of like looking at COVID-19 after seeing it up against all these previous much more detrimental illnesses that affected society. It kind of puts it in perspective, as to speak. It's interesting.
Because again, like I agree that we need to cleanse humanity and lower our population, but throughout history, the only time we've really hit our population as a whole world really hard was two scenarios, which Black Plague, which we were just fucking morons. Like, there was nothing we were doing right. Like, everything we were doing was wrong.
I mean, we're repeating that pattern now, though.
No, like, but
we're doing some things right, but
we're not nearly on the same scale.
Sure.
And also, like, think about it, guys. Like, they killed like 200 mil, or what was it? Anywhere between 200 million. Like, we just broke 100,000. Corona officially broke 100,000. Every single one of these plagues has broken 100,000. Just to let you know, at least. And that's not even the London one. The London one was just in London, broke 100,000 in their own city.
Cam girl for Jesus.
Yeah. So just keep that in mind. Like, yeah, this can get a lot worse. If Trump is doing what he's doing, unfortunately, like the first two, he's not prepared. He is not up to date. He's not trying to get shit fixed.
Wrong. Fake news. Everything's under control. We're gonna be back up any day now. Look, I said by Easter. I may have overcalculated, but any day now. Just sit tight. We'll get this business back up and running very soon. It'll be huge. It'll be amazing. Don't worry.
Also, I don't know how many people know this, but there's two ways you can fight a virus. One way is a vaccine, which is you prevent to get it in the first place. You get some form of the strain with the same type of makeup. It may not be the same virus, but it stops you from getting sick. And then you actually have to deal with the symptoms. And we're just so fucked with Corona, we don't have one for either.
Yeah, dude. I mean, hey, that vaccine is also coming any day now. Trump said so.
God.
Trump said so. Hey, it's coming, yo. We're working. We're very close. We're very hopeful. It'll any day now. Any day. Not to worry. Anyway,
yeah.
Is that
That's it. That's the end of my presentation. How do you feel? Did you learn anything?
I did learn quite a few things, actually. I give you a gold star. This was actually pretty well put together, I have to say.
Thank you.
Yeah, dude. It was very educational. You know what? DFF's new slogan there is, a show made by uneducated people for uneducated people.
For the uneducated.
Yeah, this feels
dude,
like.
I love that.
I love it too, but this feels more like something made by an educated person for uneducated people, dude. So it's like one step further, dude. I don't mean to like offend the fucking DFF crew, but I don't know,
dude. They literally call themselves uneducated, dude. They literally call themselves uneducated, so I don't know if they can take any offense to that at all.
Yeah, dude. I think Chess got a fucking talent for this, yo.
Yes. Only took several hours. Like, I was debating on actually putting all the links to all the sources, but I'm like, I probably looked over at 100 different pages because I had to look at
my god.
I had to look at human population. I had to look at different sources about the plagues. I had to find. It's not just Wikipedia. I had to figure out what humanity's population was at the time. For inventions, I had to look at, okay, well, what's going on in these last 100 years? What amazing inventions have changed the world as we know it? And now they're gone. I had to keep going through each step and going further and further. So there was no way I was just gonna copy and paste that all in there. Fuck no.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it was really eye-opening, honestly. But with the treatments of the Black Plague, about the little boy's urine, I was surprised I didn't see anything about virgin blood. Maybe we didn't go far back enough, but
yeah, dude.
Don't give them any ideas, dude. Dude, you know what we're going through right now, right? Don't give any religious people any ideas, man.
Yeah, dude. Religious people have enough bad ideas as it is.
I mean, let's be honest. The preachers are gonna be the ones that are gonna be drowning in little boys' urine.
Yeah, and they're gonna be doing it tax-free.
Yeah, dude. Well, that was a good fucking show. I think that's about it. Thank you, Animancer and StrayDup, for joining us. Everybody, like I said earlier, go check out StrayDup's channel. Go check out his music and shit. He makes some dope shit, and we're gonna be working together to make some dope fucking music here soon. So keep an eye out for that shit. Also, make sure to watch Underhaven tomorrow, because we're gonna be doing a special stream tomorrow for Animancer's birthday, and so yeah, look forward to that. That's gonna be going on. I don't know when do you want to do that tomorrow, dude?
Probably around the regular time, like 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern. So.
Okay, yeah. Dope, dude. So yeah, keep an eye out for that shit, and a lot of great shit coming soon. Anyway, that's the show, guys. Thanks for joining us. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to join our Discord, where you can get notified for future streams and all that shit. Make sure to join the Underhaven Discord, subscribe to all the fucking channels and all that shit. Check out my motherfucking SoundCloud, where I just released a dope new fucking track produced by StrayDup, and where I'm going to be releasing some more shit very soon. So fuck yeah, dude. Peace out and piss off, yo.